Hey there, welcome back to my channel. It is Eva here. This is Women Blazing Trails. It is a channel for women. I always say that, but men always like to come and hang out, and I love that guys do that. So welcome, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Today we are going to do a little travel video. I am a Canadian expat and I live expat immigrant and I live in Guatemala. Now, when I first told my friends and family 9 years ago that I was moving to Guatemala, one of the very first questions I got from everybody was, "Oh my God, it's so dangerous. Are you going to be safe? How safe is it?" So I want to talk a little bit about how safe it is, not just in Guatemala, because I don't want this to be about Guatemala, but how safe it is for females over 50 or any age, really, 40, 30, however old you are, how safe it is for females to travel solo. And I think that's a big concern for many women. And I think it maybe even might stop some women from traveling or pursuing their dreams, chasing their dreams of traveling because they're worried about safety. So I want to share some tips with you. But the very first, I think the most important tip that I have before we even get into the major tips is don't believe everything you read. Because if you're going on Google, how safe is it to travel in Peru? So you're going to get a lot of, "Oh, it's so dangerous." And I'm just using Peru as an example. Peru's safe. "It's so dangerous. Women are being murdered or raped or whatever." So don't believe everything that you read, because every country has its pros and its cons. Every country is super safe, and then has dangerous areas. I mean, even the country that you live in, how safe is it for you to walk on your street at 1 o'clock in the morning? Might not be very safe. So number one is, please don't believe everything that you read. And you're going to read a lot of bad stuff. You're going to read a lot of bad stuff about everything all the time. Not even travel. I'm talking about food, clothes, buying a car, whatever. Because everybody has an opinion. So take whatever you read with a grain of salt. And I always tell people to just go one level deeper when you're doing your research on any country that you plan on traveling to. So first and foremost, I think another tip, not the first tip, because I just gave you one really good tip, but another tip is to join, and this is a really, really useful tip, join Facebook groups. Let's say you're coming to Guatemala. We're going to use Guatemala for the sake of this video. So you're coming to Guatemala, and you're not sure which city or town you want to go to, but you've got it narrowed down to a few. So go to Facebook and find Facebook groups of that town that you're considering, and ask questions in there and try and get some people will answer like jerks, and that's just Facebook, and you can expect that. But for the most part, you're going to get honest answers, and you're going to get a lot of women who will tell you, what their experiences have been. And you will find that 95% of the time, no matter where you go, that it is safe for women to travel. So join some Facebook groups in the town that you are going to, and just ask some questions. That's the second tip. The third tip is, now, once you are in your town or country or wherever you are, and this is a real common sense tip, and it's the same thing, it's the same advice I would give even if you were still at home in your country, Canada, United States, whatever country you're coming from. Don't get into the car with strangers, and don't leave your purse or your belongings unattended, and especially don't leave your drink sitting alone at the bar. You would never do any of those things in your own country. Don't do them when you're traveling solo, because purses get lifted like that. So you'll find that when you're in different countries, especially Central Latin America, maybe Asia. I don't know. I've never been to Asia or East. So people are very friendly. "Oh, come on, I'll give you a ride." You can't jump in the car with every person you meet, because it's not always safe. And in that situation, it's always just to be better safe than sorry. That's all I got to say about that. You probably wouldn't do that back in your own hometown. Don't do that while you're traveling. Don't leave your purse unattended, and don't leave your drink unattended on a bar and go to the bathroom and come back and hope that nobody roofied it. So that's another tip. The third thing I would like to share is if you're traveling for just a short period of time, let's say you're only traveling for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or something, and you have an itinerary and you are traveling alone, obviously, not like with a solo female travel group or anything like that. You're completely on your own. Send your itinerary to a trusted friend or family member back home. Like, let them know exactly where you're going, what day, what time you're leaving, and what time you're expected to return. Let them know the hotel or the hostel you're staying at. Like, give them full details. If you got a SIM card wherever you are, give them the number of your phone number of where you are. Like, give them everything. Be as detailed oriented as possible, because anything can happen. And that's not just like you getting, I don't know, kidnapped and murdered. But let's say you have an accident. I mean, anything like that. So please, the third tip is give a complete detailed itinerary to somebody back home. Make 2 copies of it. Hey, sorry, my dog was barking. Make 2 copies of it and give it to people that you can trust back home. That's very important. 1 second, I have to deal with my dog. Okay, we're back. So tip number 4, before I get into tip number 4, so I have a cat that adopted me and a dog that I adopted from the street. He stays outside, she stays inside because they don't get along right now. So what she does, he likes to sit at the door outside, protect the house or whatever, and she likes to sit on the inside of the door and taunt him somehow. I don't know. So she ruffles his feathers and he starts barking, and it's chaos. So we're working on that right now. We're doing some training with him. So, all right. Sorry about that. Tip number 4. So I would highly recommend that you don't go, let's say you're in a town and they have this really cool, you hear people saying, oh, you should go on this hike. It's really beautiful in the morning sunrise and all that, et cetera, et cetera. I would recommend that if you are going on any sunrise hikes or sunset hikes or go stare at the stars hikes or whatever, do not go alone, because anything could happen in the mountains or on hikes or in the hills. And I'm not saying that, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to get robbed or raped or murdered or beaten. I don't know. Anything can happen. I mean, you always have to think anything can happen, especially when you're alone in the mountains or on a hill by yourself in the middle of the night or 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's never really advisable. Don't do that. And I think tip number 5 is really just to use your common sense. And you like the things that you wouldn't do in your country, walk the streets alone at night. I don't know. Just use your common sense, because all of those safety rules from your country, they apply all around the world. It doesn't matter where you're going. You still need to be street smart and you still need to use your common sense. But to answer the question, the $1 million question, is it safe for a solo female to travel any country? I'm going to say yes. Do your research, find out where the danger areas are. Maybe some countries right now aren't safe to travel in. I don't know. I'll do a little bit of research and I'll drop a link down below. Because I mean, there is some wars going on, and that's just the way of the world, unfortunately. It's kind of sad. But I will drop some helpful links down below for you to check them out. But overall, it is completely safe to travel solo as a female. Just be street smart, use your common sense, and follow the tips that I gave you. And you're going to be just fine, honest to God. And you're going to have, if it's your first solo trip, you're just going to have like the time of your life, and you're going to have such a great experience. And then you're just going to want to do it more and more and all that stuff. And you're going to make great friends along the way and meet different people and have amazing, talk about their experiences, and they'll share. One thing that I love about travel is meeting people that share their travel experiences. Because I mean, I've met people who've been like around the world, and just to hear some of their stories is so amazing. Like travel, if you can travel, if you have the means, the time, and the money and all that to travel, do it. Book a ticket and just go. Because travel is beautiful, and you learn a lot about yourself as well when you're traveling. So anyway, that's all I got for you. I am going to, don't forget to check down below. I'm going to drop some links for you about, I think I have a couple of links on my site as well about solo traveling. So check those out. And I'm going to dig up some resources for you, some reliable resources for you, not outdated 2020 stats that are just bullshit. I'll find some good resources for you. And then you just make your own decision, but at least you'll make a best informed decision. That's all I got for you. I hope you all have safe travels, and I know you will. And I upload videos twice a week, usually Sundays, and then randomly through the middle of the week, I have to upload shorts every day. So don't forget, like, share, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. I'll catch y'all back here on the next video. Bye for now.